Starting to take a few deep, relaxing breaths. For this type of breath that we'll be doing this morning, both the inhalation and exhalation will be practiced breathing in and out through the nostrils. For your first breath, inhale slowly and deeply, directing the air into your lower lungs by consciously using your diaphragm. When this is performed properly, your belly should inflate to look a little bit like a little bit pregnant, or maybe a little bit like a Buddha's belly. So let's try that together, consciously breathing in. And as you exhale, deflate your belly as if air were escaping from a balloon. We're going to repeat the pattern several times, drawing the air into the lungs, the lower chamber, maintaining smooth and rhythmic breathing. And as you breathe out, just feel the belly kind of contract, like a balloon deflating, letting the air slowly escape out through your nostrils. Another good way of working with breath is to keep the in breath and the out breath equal. So if you're breathing in, you may be breathing in for 3 or 5 counts, and if you're breathing out, you do the same. So just directing the attention when you're breathing towards the lungs, the capacity, the lower chambers of the lungs, as well as the diaphragm, seeing how the belly inflates and pushes forward. And as you breathe out, feel and imagine the lungs start to empty, the diaphragm starts to draw upwards, and there's slightly warmer air rising and coming out through your nostrils. Doing just a few more rounds, getting yourself comfortable with this technique. After you're comfortable with the first step, begin bringing the air into the middle section of your lungs. Start by filling your lower region as before, then direct your inflow to your mid-lungs region by opening your rib cage. You will now feel that your ribs expanding between your diaphragm and your chest. Inhale and exhale several times, filling both from the bottom and middle areas of your lungs. Finally, we're going to draw into the bottom and the middle of our lungs. Then continue filling your upper lungs by breathing into your collarbones. So practicing now the complete breath so that your inhalations and exhalations flow in a smooth, continuous motion. Sequentially directing your attention from your diaphragm to your ribs to your clavicles. Envision this deep conscious breath nourishing the organs, the tissues, the cells in your body, enabling them to perform their vital function effortlessly and in accordance with their ways, with their best purpose. Moving through 2 to 3 more rounds. Very slowly start to open your eyes, just half gazing, allowing your body to be completely relaxed and soft. Drawing your attention to your hands, where you feel your hands completely open, completely relaxed, ready to receive. Just noticing what you are busy observing or busy looking at. Maybe it's a color, a texture. And then very slowly taking long, deep, warm breaths as you bring yourself back very gently. Okay, if you're going to hit the playlist with me, get ready. All right, so it's Nurturing Flow #2. Miles is the first song. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, everyone, we're going to make our way into a cross-legged seated position. So if you're lying down, just bring yourself upwards. And I want you to shift your weight from side to side, lifting the one butt, maybe walking a little bit back, and the other one. Creating some space in your hips, in your lower back. And then shifting your ankles a little bit ahead of you. Reaching your arms behind you so that you're resting on the back of the hand. Bring your chin down towards your chest, lengthening the back of your neck. Start to draw your ribs in and very slowly starting to roll without any effort, allowing gravity to take you down. See if you can release the urge to control this. See if you can just relax your shoulders, your head. Your head is heavy enough to pin you down towards the ground. So it's very gradual, very, very, very slowly. As you start to fill the space below you. Slow, deep, diaphragmatic breath. Maybe at some point it feels like you've hit a wall and you're not moving anymore. Just give it some time and space. Give it a few breaths. And naturally on that out breath, when your body is ready and aligned, your out breath will have that necessary conversation with your body where it allows the body to trust the breath so that the breath can take the body a little bit deeper. When the body is relaxed, the muscles start to open up, the tendons, the ligaments. Just allow yourself to be as heavy as possible with zero resistance. Maybe even still now you notice on the out breath, you're able to get yourself slightly closer towards your legs or the floor. Working with that 3-part breath, breathing into the lower chamber of your lungs, deep down to the diaphragm, into the chest, the side rib cage, up into the clavicles, the throat area, and feeling the warm air rise coming out through your noses. You can very slowly, one arm at a time, drag your arms out in front of you. And let your armpits melt to the ground. If you feel that it's talking to you this morning to gently move your head from side to side, go ahead and invite some movement into your neck. Maybe sliding the fingertips a little bit forward ahead of you. Feeling your belly expand like a balloon as it presses down. And gently chin to chest as you slowly roll yourself, dragging your hands, bringing yourself back up to a seat. Changing the feet. So you're going to take the opposite leg forward, bringing the other one in. And then just walking your hands out in front of you again. Allow yourself to hinge and to fold forward over your legs. Just giving the other hip a chance to feel this practice, to feel the stretch. If at any point you feel like moving the shoulders a bit, the head, the hips, go into accordance what you're connecting with this morning. What are those softer conversations? What are those louder conversations? Slowly start to walk your hands over towards the right side. Maybe you'll walk your hands off the outside edge of your mat. Directing your chest and your forehead towards your right knee. Breathe in as you take a little bit of space. And as you breathe out, softly fold forward over your right thigh. Forehead comes down. Let your forearms melt to the ground. Rising onto the tips of your fingers, start to walk your hands over towards the left-hand side. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, melt down towards your left knee. Let your right rib cage release. Relax the shoulders, the arms, forearms. Might feel like the buns coming off the mat, so just lightly press down through your butt. Taking full deep belly breaths, trying to keep the in-breath the same length as the out-breath, constantly reminding ourselves to let go of unnecessary tension. Rising back up onto the fingertips, walking your hands back to center. Folding forward one last time. Chin to chest, slowly rolling yourselves up. Resting your hands on your knees or on your lap. You can sit nice and tall, taking your right ear over to your right shoulder. Feel your left shoulder soften away and down from the left ear. Try to stretch your left ear away from the left shoulder. Maybe changing the angle of your head slightly, maybe even turning the chin towards the right shoulder. Maybe leaning the head a little bit backwards, feeling the stretch all the way up into your throat. On your next breath out, move the ear over towards the left shoulder. Left ear, left shoulder, right shoulder relaxes away from the right ear. Lean a little bit back into your seat. Sitting nice and tall through your spine, squeezing lightly into your lower belly. Relax your feet. And then changing the angle of your head, maybe a little, feeling the stretch, maybe even into your face. And bring your chin back down towards your chest. Left hand reaches out onto the mat next to you. Right arm reaches up to the sky. Lean over towards your left hand side. Slide that bottom hand away from you. Bending into your top arm. Bring your hand behind your head as if your head is resting and lying back into a hammock. Gaze up to the roof as you tilt your chest upwards. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, bring your right elbow to your left knee and twist. Breathe in, rotate your chest open, lean slightly backwards, push your bum down into the ground, and as you breathe out, elbow to knee. Breathe in, open your chest, rotate back. Draw your belly button in. Take a big breath, expand your belly. Breathe out, pull your belly in, elbow to the outside of your knee. Breathe in, open your chest up, pull yourself up to center, release your right hand, take your left arm up and over. Slide your bottom hand away from you. You can come to your forearm if you like, otherwise just keep staying on the hand, bending into the top arm, supporting your lower part of your head. Breathe in, twist, turning your head and your chest up to the sky. Breathe out, bring the elbow to the outside of the knee, left elbow down. Breathe in, open your chest up. Breathe out, pull your ribs in. Pull your belly in, twist, elbow to knee. Breathe in, open your chest. Lean slightly backwards. Relax your shoulder, relax your head and your neck. Breathe out, elbow to knee. Breathe in, lift yourself back up to center, all the way up. Rolling yourself over onto your hands and your knees. Walk your hands out one step in front of you, a little bit ahead of your shoulders. Make sure that you've got a wide fingers, like star shapes or starfish, really wide, gripping into the mat. Pressing firmly down into the backs of your feet. Drop your belly to the floor, push your bum back behind you. Keep your arms straight and active here. Make a little bend into your elbows and start to draw your elbows in towards one another. Pull your belly button in. Start to lean your weight forward so that your shoulders come a little bit ahead of your wrists. Stick your elbows to your side rib cage and very, very slowly start to bring your chin and your chest to the floor. Slide yourself forward to come flat onto your belly. Breathe in, lift your chest without pressing into your hands. You should be able to float your hands. Lower yourself down. We're doing a few more rounds of these. Every time you can go up a little bit higher as the spine starts to warm up. Breathe in, lift your head and your chest up. Press lightly into your hands, maybe lifting a few more centimeters. Pull yourself forward as you roll down onto your tummy. Bring your chest and your forehead back down to the ground. Breathe in, stretch forward, roll up, pressing into the hands, elbows into the sides. Pull yourself forward, slowly rolling back down again. Breathe in, fill your lungs, starting from the lower chamber, lift your chest up. Squeeze your bums and your thighs as you go higher. Pull your belly in to protect your lower back. Slowly roll yourself back down again. Last time, breathing in, roll up. And then stay there. Whether you're much lower, that's perfectly fine. Wherever you are, you're going to peep over your left shoulder. See if you can spot your left heel. Breathe in, come back to center. Lower yourself down. Give the arms a little bit of a break, relax them. Breathe in, push yourself back up. Look over your right shoulder, spot your right heel. Breathe in, come back to center, lower down. Using the strength of your arms, squeeze your belly tight, push to your knees, curl your toes in underneath, sit your bum onto your heels, bring your forehead down to the ground into your child's pose. Grounding down into your hands, look in between your hands. Lift your bum up to the sky, coming into your first downward facing dog. Paddle it out. Send your gaze up towards your belly button. Stretching the tips of your ears down towards your hands. When you're ready, lift your right leg up back behind you, bend your knee and open your hip up to the side. For a second, notice what you feel here. Notice the direction of your breath. Notice also where most of your weight is. Maybe it feels like you're leaning most of your weight into the foot or one hand, and then just equally distributing the weight. Pulling your top heel to your bum, open the knee up and bring the knee and the foot back down to the ground. Left leg reaches high. Bend your knee, open your hip up. Notice what you feel on this side. And bring the left foot down to the ground. Place your knees onto the floor. Shift your shoulders forward over your wrist. Push your bum back. Take a big breath in as you look forward. As you breathe out, bend your elbows. Slowly start to bring your chin and your chest down to the floor. Push yourself to slide forward onto your bellies. Release the backs of your feet if you haven't yet. Bring your nose to touch the ground. Like you're rolling a stone forward with your nose, you're going to push your nose forward. Keep pushing it as far forward as you can. Keep your nose connected to the mat for as long as you can. Then breathe in, lift your head, your chest up. Pressing into your hands as much as feels comfortable, as long as your elbows stay in and your shoulders down and away from your ears. Lower yourself to the floor. Pressing up onto your knees, curl your toes under, back into your child's pose. Few easy, slow breaths. Take a big breath in through your nose and then push it out through your mouth, releasing any stale air. Lift your hips up into your downward facing dog. Lift your right leg high, bend your knee and open your hip up. Lift high onto the ball of your left foot. Start to roll forward into your plank. Draw your right knee to the outside of your right shoulder. Step it on the outside of your right hand. Take a few moments just to rock your weight from one side to the other. So from the right hand to the left hand, maybe into the back foot and into the front foot. Maybe making a few circular movements, rolling over the wrists. When you're ready, you can place your back knee down onto the ground. Release your back toe, lifting up through your chest, maybe even coming up onto your fingertips if that feels comfortable. Take your chin down towards your chest and draw your shoulders back. A few gentle breaths. Option to bend the elbows and bring your chest down. Option to come down onto your forearms. Rule of thumb is if you're not able to control your breath and your breath is short and erratic, that you're too deep in the posture, your body is not ready, your communication between your body and breath has not been established yet. So bring yourself just a little bit higher to breathe deeply in and out through your nose, and maybe after some time you can go a little bit deeper into the posture, but first stay and work with what is being presented to you. If you were on your elbows, you can come back onto your hands. Bring your right hand onto the inside of your right thigh or your knee. And you're going to just gently, without forcing it, you're just going to roll onto the outside edge of your right foot. Maybe help your leg a bit with this hand if you need to. And you can keep sinking the hips down to the ground. If you're up higher, it's perfectly fine. We're just trying to create space in this right hip. Draw your knee back, press down through your right big toe. Bring your right hand back down to the floor, curl your back toe in underneath, straighten out your back leg. Push into the floor, stay back into your high plank. Bring your knees down to the ground, breathe in, lean forward, look up, drop the belly. On your out breath, chin and chest comes down to the floor. Pull yourself through, breathe in, lift your chest up. Chin to chest, push to your knees, curl your toes under, child's pose. Take a deep breath in with a nice solid sigh out. Breathing in, lifting your hips back up into your downward facing dog. Lift your left leg high, bend your knee, open your hip up. Lift high onto the right toes. Start to roll forward, pull your belly in, bring your left knee to the outside of your left shoulder, kick and step it up next to your left hand. Again, just rocking your weight from side to side, maybe backwards and forwards, maybe circular movement. When you're ready, place the back knee down, release the back foot. You can either stay on your hands, lifting your chest up, maybe starting out here, maybe onto the fingertips. And you can continue with moving the shoulders or the hips or just staying steady. If you feel like moving slightly deeper, bringing the chest down. You might not be able to mimic exactly what you did on the one side, on the other side, just due to our body's not always being the same, and maybe you've got an injury, or maybe you just use one side more than the other. Deep, steady breaths. Allow yourself to melt into that gap. That gap that's in between thoughts and in between breaths. And gently rising back up onto your hands, allowing yourself to come onto the left knife edge, and then bringing your left hand to the inside of the left thigh or the knee. Just gently opening up the hip here. Draw the knee back in, pressing down into your big toe. Left hand comes down, curl your back toe in underneath, straighten out your back leg. Breathe in, step back. Roll forward onto your toes, breathe out, look forward, knees, chin and chest down. Pull yourself through, breathe in, press into your hands, chest up, shoulders back. Chin to chest, back into your child's pose. Slowly start to walk your hands back towards your knees. Bring your inner thighs together, your ankles together. Slowly make your way to sit with your bum onto your heels. Reach your arms out to the side, keep circling them back behind you. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Eventually clasp your hands, interlacing the fingers, squeezing the palms together. Lift your fists away from your bum. Puff your heart forward, push your bum back. Pull into your lower belly, start to lean backwards just as far as it feels comfortable to you. Keep pulling your fists away from your bum and your feet. Slowly pull yourself back up to center. Release your hands out. Reach them far forward to push yourself up into your downward facing dog. Walk your dog, shifting your hips, straightening from behind the knees. Gazing forward in between your hands. Step your right foot onto the outside of your right hand. You can take a couple of hops or maybe one. Step your left foot onto the outside of your left hand. It's almost like we're doing a double lizard coming into your yoga squat. Resisting a bit with your arms into your legs and your legs into your arms. Staying on the tips of the fingers, lift up through your chest, pull your bum in underneath, then bring your hands to your heart center. Few slow, easy breaths. Bring your hands down to the floor, stay back into your high plank. Lower knees, chin and chest to the ground. Pull yourself through, breathe in, lift your chest up. Lower yourself all the way down, lie flat onto your belly. Reach your arms back behind you, interlace your hands behind your back. Straighten your arms out, start to lift your hands away from your bum, start to lift your head and your chest up. Keep the backs of your feet, especially those pinky toes, firmly pushing down into the mat. Breathing in, lifting up a little bit higher. And breathe out, lower down. Open your arms into cactus arms next to you. Rolling over to your right side, you're going to pick your left leg up, bend the knee, point the toes back behind you, and just place yourself down onto the back tippy toes. Maybe the leg stays in the air and the toes aren't down on the ground. With your right ear down on the mat, listening to the mat. Keeping the right arm cactus. If you like to support on the left fingertips, you can. Make sure that you're feeling a bit of a stretch over the shoulder, maybe the pectoral muscles. Gently bring yourself back to center, cactusing out the left arm, rolling to your left side, pushing onto the right fingertip. Lift your right leg up, bend the knee, point the toes back behind you, left ear down onto the mat. So almost try to get your left armpit to the floor, sliding your left elbow away from you, squeezing your bum, and bring yourself back to center. Slide your hands back underneath your elbows, push to your knees, curl your toes under child's pose. Gently walk your hands back up, sitting back onto your knees, squeeze the ankle bones together, the knees. If you have very sensitive ankles or feet, you can leave the feet flat on the ground behind you. Take your left arm out to the side, turn your thumb down, reach your arm back behind you as much as you can. At the last moment, bend the elbow, walk the back of the hand up in between your shoulder blades or up as high as you possibly can. Take your right arm over, bend the elbow, see if you can hold onto your clothes, or maybe you can find your fingertips here. Opening up the top elbow. We're going to lean over towards our left hand side, stretching the right side body. Breathe in, pull yourself back up. Release. Right thumb down to the ground, circle the arm back behind you, bend the elbow. Lift the hand up in between, walk it up, walk it out. You can use your left hand to help it a bit. Left arm reaches up to the sky, interlace or hold onto your clothes. Sitting up nice and tall, breathe in. Push your hips to the left side, lean over to your right hand side. And gently pull yourselves up to center, reach your arms forward, making your way back into your downwards facing dog. Lift your right leg high, bend your knee, open your hip up. Step your right foot on the outside of your right hand. Push your back foot a little bit further back behind you. Place the back knee down onto the ground. Release the back foot. Your left hand is directly underneath your left shoulder. Reach your right arm out in front of you. Keep reaching, reaching, reaching. Almost bending a bit into your left elbow. And if someone's got a rope attached to your chest and they're pulling your chest forward out in front of you. Lift your right arm up to the sky. Push yourself upright. Circle your right arm back behind you. Gaze back to your right thumb. Option to lift onto your left fingertips. See if you can spot your back heel. Then option to bend the knee to hold onto your ankle or your foot. Again, a rule of thumb, stay with your in-breath and your out-breath. Gently release. Untwirl yourself, circling the right arm back down. Curl your back toes in underneath. Breathe in, step back into your high plank. Breathe out, knees, chin, and chest to the floor. Pull yourself forward onto your belly. Breathe in, lift your chest up. Chin to chest back into your child's pose. And lifting our hips back up into downwards facing dog. Left leg reaches high, bend your knee, open your hip up. Come and step your left foot onto the outside of your left hand. Wiggle your back toes a little bit further back onto your mat. Place the knee down onto the ground, right hand underneath the right shoulder. Reach your left arm forward. Lean forward, reach. Feel as if someone's pulling, holding onto your hand and keep pulling you. Someone's pulling you, pulling you, pulling you. Reach forward, up. Try and touch the roof. Circle your arm back behind you. Maybe pop onto the right fingertips. Look back to your back thumb. Maybe spotting your back heel. And option to bend the back knee to grab onto the foot or the ankle. And lightly pulling the heel towards the bum if you've got it. Otherwise, working on your twist, drawing your belly to your spine. Revolve your shoulders around. Gently release, circle your arm up and down to the mat. Curl your back toes in underneath, straighten out your back leg. Push, breathe in, step back into your high plank. Breathe out, knees, chin, and chest to the floor. Pull yourself through, breathe in, chest up. Chin to chest back to your child's pose. Forehead rests onto the mat. Chin to chest, gently roll yourself up onto your knees and then press yourself to rise and stand. You're staying on the knees. Reach your arms out to the side, circle them back behind you, interlace your fingers, straighten your arms, pull your fists up and away from your bum as much as you can. Feel how your collarbones start to expand wide, squeezing a little bit into your legs, a little bit into the hamstrings, the thighs, the lower belly, bum. Start to push your hips forward, your chest up, and lean back just as much as you're comfortable with. Keep pulling the hands backward. Then push your bum back towards your heels and stretch your heart forward. Pull your belly in. Keep pushing your bum back. Hover your bum away from your heels. Hover your belly above your thighs. At the last moment, sink all the way down. Bring your arms over the back of your head. Forehead comes down to the floor. Gently release your hands down your sides. Just let them drop for a second. Maybe move your fingertips, feeling the blood rush back in. Sliding your arms out in front of you. Pressing down into your hands. Curl your toes in underneath. Bum up, hips up, downwards facing dog. In your downwards facing dog, see if you can lift all 10 toes away from the mat. Bending into your elbows, squeeze your elbows together, drop your ears to your thumbs. See if you can shift your heels slightly outwards. Pushing your bum back, push through your arms. Rise as high as you can onto your tippy toes. Lift your right foot up so that there's about space for, I would say, a tennis ball underneath your right foot. Spread your toes wide and then hug the right leg bone upwards as you lift it up a little bit higher so that there's now about a space for a pomelo or like a grapefruit underneath your right foot. Step your right foot forward, push down into the ground, feel your toes squish into the floor. Pick up your left foot, tennis ball underneath the left foot, squeeze your thighs, lift the hip up, maybe a grapefruit or even bigger than that, step the foot forward. Lift your right foot, lift the hip up as if you want to kiss the right butt to the roof. Step forward, left foot lift, step forward. In your own time, continue slowly to walk forward. Once you're at the top of your mat, you can just take a comfortable forward fold. Breathing in, coming into your halfway lift, fingertips either on the mat or hands on the shins. Leaning your weight back into your heels, pick your toes up and away from the mat. Squeezing into your lower belly, reach your heart forward. Push your pinky toe and your big toe firmly down into the mat. Lift the inner arches of your feet. Pull yourself forward, bend your knees, fold forward, look back in between your legs. Breathe in, come up halfway. Lift onto your heels. So see if you can go all the way back, balancing on your heels here. Then sweep your feet out to the side, opening them up like duck feet. Lower your bum to the floor, lift your chest up, yogi squat. Chin to chest, push your hips back up again, forward fold. Lift your feet up. Swing your feet forward so that they point towards your wrist. Place your feet back down to the ground. Walk your hands a little bit forward ahead of you. Guys, you need to just bend into your knees as much as you need to. Lift up onto the balls of your feet. Push your knees forward. So there's at least space for a fist, maybe 2 in between your feet, preferably 2. Push your knees forward. Come as high as you can onto the balls of your feet, slowly lowering your bum down towards your heels. Just getting as low as you can, lifting up through your chest. Pushing up through the bum. Stay high on the balls of the feet. And at the last moment, you can very slowly, resisting almost, to put the heels back down onto the ground. Lean your weight back onto your heels. Turn your toes out to the side, so pivoting onto the heels, put the toes down. Lower your bum, lift your chest up. Chin to chest, push your hips up. Lift onto your heels, turn your toes to behind your wrists, put your feet down onto the ground. Rise high onto the balls of your feet, push your knees forward into your chest, sit your bum down onto your heels. Chin to chest, lift your bum up. Straightening out through the legs, squeeze those upper thigh muscles, suction your legs up. With a bit of resistance, bring your heels down to the mat. Heel toe your feet so that they're nice and close together, maybe even touching. Shift the weight into your left foot, push your right foot forward, cross it over the front of your left foot. Gently rolling, folding forward over your right thigh. Option to lift your left big toe off away from the mat and come onto the knife outside edge of your left foot. Finding a bit of compression as you reach forward, squeeze your thighs and your belly and your forehead towards each other. Forehead down to the shins. Breathe in, pull yourself up, shift the weight into your left foot, kick your right foot forward, step it down. Shift the weight into your right foot, kick your left foot forward, cross it over the front, and fold forward. Option on this side to come onto the right nice outside edge of your right foot. Few more slow, easy breaths. In breaths and out breaths, equal lengths. Pushing down into your right foot, kick your left foot forward, step it back next to your right foot. Slowly bending into your knees, come and sit your bum down. Bring your bum as close as you can to your heels. Walk your hands out in front of you. If you need support, take your hands around. Otherwise, as slow as you can, bring your bums to the floor. Stretching your legs out onto the mat. Twist towards your left-hand side. Use the right hand to press into your calf or your leg to help you sit tall and twist a little bit more. Take your back hand, your left hand, and aim it. Walk it back so that you can almost touch the back right side corner. So instead of the left outside line of your mat, reach back to the right side. Then crawl your back fingertips to the back right corner. So if you're looking at your left, if you're looking backwards, it's the left corner. Okay? Walk, walk, walk. Bring your right hand around. Maybe even coming to the left elbow. And we're going to try and get our forehead down towards the ground. If it feels like your right butt is lifting and rolling with you, if you can just push it down to the floor. You can still be on your hands here. But when you twist behind you, each hand should be on its outside edge of the mat. I hope this makes sense. Push yourself back up again. Twist towards your right hand side. Sit tall. Use your breath. Use the strength of your core, your chest. Holding onto that right leg. Twist, twist, twist. Look to the back of your mat. Bring your right hand. If you look forward, you're going to stay with right and left. Your right hand to the back right corner. Left hand comes around. And lower yourself down to the ground. Staying there for 3 more breaths. Gently bring yourselves back up to center. Walking the soles of your feet up onto the mat. Sweep your arms back behind you, fingertips point forward. Push into your hands and your feet. Lift your hips up. Squeeze your bum. Drop your head. Maybe feel a nice big stretch over your shoulders. Squeeze a little bit into the hamstrings. Roll the elbows outwards. And gently bring your bum down to the floor. Take your arms, wrap them around the outsides of your knees and lock your hands. Your feet are nice and wide, almost on the outside edges of your mat. Push your knees out into the inside creases of your elbows, and then bring your forehead down, chin to chest. Pull your lower belly in. Almost tilt your tailbone up as if you want to push and round your lower back, as if you want to push your lower back to the floor. Keep pushing your knees out into your arms. Keep rounding into your back, chin to chest. All right, gazing forward, hold onto your knees. Just gently let yourself roll down onto your back. Option to keep the soles of your feet on the mat, or to bring the soles of the feet together, drop your knees out. Option to slide your legs flat. Option to put a pillow or a block underneath your lower back or your bum. Palms up or resting your hands wherever feels comfortable. Find comfort, fuzzy, sweet comfort. Maybe even put a little jacket on, or maybe put the lights off, or whatever it is that's going to make you completely feel comfortable and relaxed. Slow, easy breath. Soften the point in between your eyebrows. Soft eyes, soft cheeks, soft mouth. Soften your throat, your chest, your shoulders. Relax your arms, your wrists, and your hands. Relax the upper back, middle part of your back, and lower back. Relax your hips, your thighs, your knees are soft. Relax your calves, your ankles, your feet. All 10 of your toes. Relax your entire body. Observe how open your face feels, how receptive, how gentle. Just resting your attention now on the tips of your ears. Allow your head to melt from the front backwards. Letting your breath and the resonance of your practice reach back, pouring into each cell. You're welcome to stay here, or you can start to stretch out your body slowly, slowly. When you're ready, flopping yourself to your left, your right. And whenever you're ready, you can bring yourself to your bum. Bring your hands to your heart center, focusing on only the connection of your palms and your hands. Start to lift your chest up into your hands. Maybe there's a bit of a connection between your thumbs and your chest. As you lift your chest up, bring your forehead down. Taking a nice big breath in. And as we breathe out, we bow forward. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this morning's practice. You're welcome to sit, relax, meditate, lie, take extra time if you feel that you need that. Any comments in the chat? Otherwise, I will see you guys for the next round. You guys must have an amazing week. All the best of luck to you guys, and I'll see you guys soon.
Nej, misschien.
Nice. Awesome. Thanks for all your amazing feedback. You guys keep me going, and the practice keeps us going. So it's awesome also to hear how you guys are doing and just to kind of connect with you for a moment. Ja, Tiaan, for sure. Ek gebruik dit baie. Lekker daai in breath and out. Plezier, Christa. Thanks, Mersha. Ja. Nice, Shawl. As long as it feels good. Pleasure, Dal.